you ever felt.
Are you listening? Damn. Yeah. Yeah.
When we go to our lessons, Supreme Wisdom lesson, next slide. Says lost found lesson number 1, question 4. Why did we run Yaqub and his maid devil from the root of civilization over the hot desert into the cave of West Asia, as they now call it Europe? What is the meaning of EU and rope? How long ago? What did the devil bring with him? What kind of life did he live, and how long before Musa came to teach the devil the forgotten trick knowledge? Now Musa at a certain point had to come back and reteach the devil because we exiled him after he caused trouble to the place that is called Europe. All right? Now, we're gonna just read primarily the top one, part of the answer. And of course, this is question 4, lesson 1. Said because they started making trouble among the righteous people, telling lies. They accused the righteous, causing them to fight and kill one another. That's what they do all over the place. That's what they did in Libya. They started with lies. And then they caused the Libyan people what? To fight and kill one another through lies and tricks, right? As a matter of fact, there was an FBI operation as well as a CIA operation of the same name called Operation Dirty Tricks and Lies. That was the name of the operation. I mean, they know what they're doing.
Yes, sir. All day.
It is us that don't know. But they know exactly what they do. All right? All praise due to Allah. Now, we're talking about unity. Let me get down to it. All right. Now, he taught the devils to do devilishment. The root of civilization is in the holy city Mecca, which means where wisdom and knowledge of the original man first started when the planet was found. And then it goes on to say we ran the devils over the Arabian desert. We took everything from them except the land, right? But it goes on to say that the devil went savage in the caves of Europe. And it says EU means hillsides and rope is to bind in. We bound them in that area called Europe, exiled them for 2,000 years because they caused all this trouble in what we call the Holy Land or Mecca. And then it says that Musa came 2,000 years later and taught him how to live a respectable life, how to build a home for himself, and so on and so forth. Because white folks were living in caves. We had to come back with Moses, one of our prophets, and teach them how to build a house. They weren't living, they had no shelter. They were just out there, all right? They went totally savage. But now, let's go to the next slide. And we're just going to deal with a few people. We have a man by the name of Sir John Hawkins, who is the father of what we call the Negro. Did y'all hear what I said?
Yes, sir.
Now, the Negro is going to make a birthday this year. I think the Negro is going to be 400 years, I think, in August. Right? In August, Negroes are going to be 400 years old. This different kind of person without the knowledge of self, who fights against his own interests, won't patronize his own brother's business, has habits that are self-destructive all the time. This thing called the Negro, now called an African American, is about to make 400 years old because it's 1619 was when we got our first group of what we call Negroes or African Americans, right? Now, that's what they call us now. And that lets you know we got our what? So Sir John Hawkins stripped us of the knowledge of self. What he did was what? He took the babies and murdered the parents and then raised the babies in whatever he wanted to teach the babies. So they wouldn't have any idea of the language or the customs of the parents.
Right.
So now we were putty in the white man's hands. And that was a 64-year process that put us in this condition that we're in to start with. Then, at a certain point, they were having a few problems with us as slaves So another man came along in 1712 by the name of Willie Lynch. And Willie Lynch, just gonna break it down. Willie Lynch devised a plan to control us by division. And basically everybody did what they did to keep us divided, to take away knowledge and to keep us in a state of disunity. So when you look at what he did, he worked on a modest plantation in the West Indies. And he told them this. He said, the Methodists have worked on my modest plantation in the West Indies, and it will work throughout the South. Take this simple list of differences and think about them. On top of my list is age, but it is there only because it starts with an A. The second is color or shade, right? So when you go to New Orleans, you got black neighborhoods, white neighborhoods, and light neighborhoods. Did y'all hear what I said?
Yes.
3 different kind of neighborhoods. Why? He wanted to divide us by color. And why is it that older people have some wisdom, life experience, but the young people don't want to hear anything that the old people have to say?
Right.
Why? It's because the enemy is working to divide you from the wise counsel that will direct your life in the right path. Right? And it's Daryl Louis Farrakhan who has made the greatest amount of inroads with young people at 85 years old.
Right.
They will listen to the Honorable Louis Farrakhan and might not listen to somebody who's 40.
Yeah.
I'm just putting it out there because they know he real. All right. Now, he goes on to talk about the size of plantation and your status on the plantation, right? And on these jobs, one of y'all will say, you work at McDonald's and I work at Exxon. You work at Wendy's and I work at Dow Chemical. I'm better than you. And I'm a supervisor on my job. You just a crewman. All of these divisions that they set up back then are the same stuff we do today on our job.
Right.
Because we think we're getting paid or we have a higher status more than somebody else, it's a division. And it's based upon what white folks decide to give you. Right? They're in control. The black slaves after receiving indoctrination shall carry on, and this will become self-refueling and self-regenerating for hundreds of years, maybe thousands. Now what he said was that those methods were going to work from between 300 and 1,000 years before they would dissipate. In 2012, we passed 300 years. So Willie Lynch was right?
Right. Yeah,
He said once you install this division, it's going to be self-refueling. We're going to be pitted against each other for centuries. And that's what's happened.
Yes, sir.
Right? So because one man has a red rag, and he calls himself a blood, and somebody else has a blue one, those people what? Are shooting and killing one another based upon the color of a shirt or the color of a handkerchief. Can you believe that? Or where somebody lives. When white folks decided that they were gonna, after they killed the Seneca Indians, what did white folks do? They didn't name the street after the Seneca Indians, right? After they killed them.
Yep.
Right or wrong?
Right.
And then there was a Duke of York who was in charge of killing the Seneca Indian. And so when you go right next to the next street over, what's it called? It's called Duke Street, right? So the man who killed the Indians and wiped them out, hit the name of his street is right over from the Indians that they wiped out. But white folks are the ones who what? Who orchestrated the whole thing. So why should you and I be upset about a public housing project that we didn't even build? Right? Next slide, we're going to deal with J. Edgar Hoover. Now, this is getting to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, which is really the man of the hour, whether you know it or not. That is the man that everybody is trying to keep black people from. And all of us as Muslims, or if we're not Muslims, we should be working to connect our people to whatever that man is saying. Now, J. Edgar Hoover set up something called the COINTELPRO, the Counterintelligence Program. Now, what they do is they infiltrate organizations. Why? To disrupt and misdirect and discredit and cause problems with your unity. In order for you to do anything, you have to have a measure of what? Of unity. So an enemy will send somebody in to disrupt whatever you're doing, misdirect it, and to break up your unity. One of the things that they would do is they would send a pretty girl in. They would send a sister in who would be really beautiful. And she would start maybe dating one of the leaders of the Black Panther Party or one of the leaders of SNCC. And then at a certain point, she would romance someone else. And then what would that do? That would set up a conflict. Oh man, you messing with my girl. And before you know it, what? They can't even work together. The free breakfast program, the clinic closed. Why? Because an enemy came in to disrupt your unity. They have spent billions of dollars in America to keep our people disunited. They've invested buku money in them. Somebody said, well, why did Viacom spend all that money buying BET? To keep black folks disunited? And once they saw the Honorable Louis Farrakhan on BET advertising the Million Family March, right after they saw the minister on BET all the time with specials, the Muslims were on there all the time commentating. You understand what I'm saying? Viacom came in, bought BET. They told Robert Johnson to go somewhere else, do something else. And before you know it, they disrupted that whole thing. Right?
Yes, sir.
Every time you do it, they get on it. They don't want you to be unified. Because our unity means what? They're in. And they know that. They know that our unity is absolutely the key. Now, what slide is showing right now? Okay. Now, here's what I wanted to lay out. It's hard for you to see on that other device. And we're gonna connect the iPad and stuff later. We're still working. But the FBI worked on breaking up, messing up the NAACP, causing conflict, messing up all of our black organizations. They sent people into the Nation of Islam. According to the church report, which there was a senator by the name of Church, last name was Church, they did on the Nation of Islam alone 22,000 documented dirty tricks to break up what the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad was doing to go after our people. Do y'all know that?
No.
22,000. How many? 22,000 dirty tricks and lies to keep us from exercising what they say is our First Amendment right. Now, next slide. Now, all of this goes to the attack on the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. He is God's servant in our midst. He's the one that is carrying the word of Almighty God Allah, the solution that they are trying to keep our people from. If somebody wants to keep you in a messed up situation, you know, if somebody wants to keep you on dope, they keep you away from rehabilitation.
Yeah.
The Honorable Louis Farrakhan represents rehabilitation for us all.
No.
He is the rehabilitator,
Yes,
whether you know it or not. He is that man. And that is why the attack is on him to discredit him. Now remember what J. Edgar Hoover's goal was.
Yeah.
To what? To disrupt, misdirect, and discredit. Right? To disrupt, meaning to cause problems where we can't get anything done. To misdirect, to lead us in another direction. That's how this thing called Orthodox Islam was injected after the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad left. Because it was designed to what? To misdirect us from the real God. Right or wrong? And then all the restaurants closed. All the farms got sold. Right after we let go of the teaching of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. So he was misdirected. Then it's to what? To discredit. To discredit us with our people, to discredit the leadership with black folks and with white folks, and to discredit the leadership even with us, to make us to doubt the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. So they're going to come up with all kind of stuff on the Honorable Louis Farrakhan before it's all over with. Right?
Yeah.
And believe it or not, everything that they are doing with Michael Jackson Bill Cosby, because they're coming out with another documentary on Michael Jackson. Because they didn't get him while he was alive, right?
No.
Because we didn't get him, so we got to go back. Now that he's dead, we got to go back and make another documentary. So there's another documentary coming out where they're going to put some more stuff out there to discredit Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Right? But what they're doing is, at each turn, they're taking notes. Right?
No.
To see how they're doing. All of this is practice for Minister Farrakhan.
That's right.
Bill Cosby is what? Practice for Minister Farrakhan.
No.
You can take it or let it alone. Because Minister Farrakhan is the man with the real legacy.
Yeah.
But what the enemy does not know is that the white man had a hand in making Bill Cosby.
No.
Because they put him on NBC. They didn't know he was going to be that big. They didn't know his effect was going to be so positive, but they put him on there. They also put R. Kelly on. So they had a hand in making all of these people. But the one man that they have not had a hand in making, who wasn't on epic records like Michael Jackson was, is the Honorable Louis Farrakhan. Nobody put him on but Almighty God Allah. And that's what they have not calculated. They will not be able to destroy the minister because they didn't make the minister.
That's right.
Allah made the Honorable Louis Farrakhan.
Yeah,
So there's always going to be an attack on the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, just like there was an attack on the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Right.
And there's always going to be an attack on everybody that speaks on behalf of black people in a sincere way.
No.
Okay?
Myself.
The Uncle Tom, they don't say, they're not attacking Clarence Thomas. Are they attacking Clarence Thomas?
No.
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 They're giving Clarence Thomas all kind of airtime, advertising his book for him. Now I wanted to mention this, because here you have two very good, influential people, one brother in media and a sister. And the Jews have told both of these people, you denounce the minister or else. We said just as else. They said what? You got to denounce the Honorable Louis Farrakhan.
Oh, yeah.
Now both of these people, Brother Lamont Hill and Sister
Tamika Mallory.
and Tamika Mallory, neither one of them have bowed and buckled to the pressure.
No, they didn't.
Right?
No.
So, and I mean, it really is amazing because they were put under the most pressure, more pressure than all these Congress people were put under, but yet they're standing strong, which means what? That the white man's grip on our disunity or keeping us in that way is slipping. Right? Because this girl here is 28 years old. And she is handling herself better than most people who's 60 or 70. You hear me? So when they come at her, she said, no, I'm going to be clear. Because I will not denounce and condemn another black man. Okay? I'm not doing that. And Master will not tell me what to say. That's what she told me. And then this brother here said, why is there a Farrakhan litmus test? I don't have to denounce anybody but him. And that's not right. So both of these people are standing strong with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan because they know when you denounce somebody, that messes up the unity, right? What's your name, brother? Huh? Adrian. If I get up here and say I denounce Adrian before the world, I condemn him, that's going to keep me and Adrian from being unified, right?
Yeah.
And for those of you who love Adrian, you're going to be mad at me. And what's that going to do? Cause problems. So they want everybody, they want them to denounce the premier leader. And that's the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. He's a real man. And he is not dependent upon the system. The rest of them are looking for something from the system. Even if it's a check at a university where they're a tenured professor, they're looking for something from this enemy. But the minister doesn't get his money from the enemy, does he?
No, sir.
He gets his pocketbook is the heart of the people.
That's right.
You understand me? He's not looking for grant money. All praise to your life. So this is the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, the last man standing right now. But praise be to Allah, we're going to continue to stand with the Honorable Louis Farrakhan no matter how bad the pressure gets. And it's getting bad now. Next slide. Now, all right. Problem, now we got to deal with what? Solutions.
Yeah.
Now, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan teaches us that Everything of value has a difficulty factor to it, right?
Yes, sir.
And he said the greater the value, the greater the difficulty. Right or wrong?
That's right.
That's right.
If you're a man with a family, you already know that's going to be some difficulty. You have bills, you have the different personalities of the children. Your wife is going to need attention. The husband is going to be in a bad mood sometime, right? And there are going to be challenges to that family. But that family unit is the basic backbone of civilization.
That's right.
So therefore what? It's so valuable, but yet what? It's so difficult.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yeah.
But if we want to live a good life, we got to what? Maintain our family ties. They're not easy, right?
No.
Now, what is the best and only solution to our problem?
Separation.
We got to separate from the enemy. Right?
Yes,
the
sir.
enemy does not want you to unify with your brother. The enemy wants you to be disunited, and he doesn't mind if you shoot and kill one another.
That's right.
There's an article I posted on my Facebook page where most of the time, if somebody shoots and kills somebody in a city, most of the time the murderer will never be charged or never be found. Did y'all know that?
Right.
You got some cities with a 12% arrest rate on murder. You hear me? That means that 88% of everybody that kills somebody gets away with it. Why? Because they don't care about taking anybody off the street that murders you and me. They're down with that 100%.
Right.
That's why they gave that cop who lied, they gave him his job back. What's the guy named Hamida? Yeah. And it goes to show you we got to respect ourselves. Because you got Arabs that come over here, get on the police force, and they fall right in line with this cracker.
Yeah.
Shooting at us just like this cracker does. Then he lies, and they find out that he lied, so the black guy fires him. The black police chief actually fires him. No. You discharged your gun, but you the only one saying this. So they go in and do a little investigation. They drop it. The DA drops the charge and say, I ain't touching it, man. Because they know I'm not going to be able to make this stick. So the DA, who you know is in the business of putting black folk in jail, he let it go.
Right.
And they fired the boy. And there it is. They just gave him his job back saying his rights were violated. That's what the people said. We got another slide after this? All right. Now, and I'm going to break this thing down to where we are right now at the mosque. This is from Message to the Black Man. The messenger of Allah, Most Honorable Muhammad says, I am not trying to get you to fight. That is not even necessary. Our unity will win the battle. Not one of us will have to raise a sword. Okay? And we ain't got to go out there like that. But now keep in mind, at some point, they may bring it to you. You're commanded by Allah now to defend yourself.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
You understand me? It says fight with those who fight with you.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
You're not allowed if the enemy hits you in the head, you have to hit him back.
That's right.
That's right.
That's what the Quran doesn't give an exception. You must fight to preserve the life that God gave you.
That's right.
You owe it to God and you owe it to yourself to try to do everything possible to stay here as long as you can. Right?
Yes,
sir.
yes,
You're
sir.
not permitted to give up your fight on life. Right? And that was the wonderful example of our sister Linda. She never gave up.
Right.
And because she didn't give up, Allah gave her extra years of life, even though she was in stage 4.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
And we have children sometimes that stay in grade 4 for 3 years, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And they shouldn't be in grade 4, but she was at stage 4 for a while. Because Allah blessed her because of her faith. Because she fought, not just with modern technology, but she fought with her mind and with prayer to stay here that long.
That's right.
Now, because they didn't know why she was still here. But all praise is due to Allah. Now he says, not one gun would you need to fire. The great cannon that will be fired is our unity. Our unity is the best. Why are you afraid to unite?
Why?
See, the enemy has made people afraid to embrace the Honorable Louis Farrakhan. Many people are afraid to walk in this mosque. I've invited people out and say, you know, they watching y'all play. They watching y'all play. Well, you ought to want them to know that you're not afraid to be black. You should want them to know that you're no longer a slave in 2019. Right? It is only because, look at read it. It is only because the slave masters did not teach you of this. We must unite to ourselves as a nation of people. We're gonna become a nation with sovereign land.
That's right.
Allah has already declared us a nation and given us a flag, but that's going to be an actual thing that happens. Separation of the so-called Negroes from their slave masters' children is a must. It's essential.
Yeah.
It is the only solution to our problem. We have asked white folks, just treat me right, boss. Just, I tell you what, you gonna pay the white boy $40 an hour, I'll take 20. Just let me get on the job. We have begged white folks to accept us, and we haven't even accepted ourselves.
Right.
We asked them for a break, but when we got a 9mm and we got to drop on somebody who we were talking to crazy at the club, do we give our own brother a break?
No.
No, but you want the white man to give you a break. We want our enemy to give us a break, and we won't give one another a break.
Right.
Now here's the thing. We who are conscious, who are here at the mosque, who know the true and living God, or we are learning about Him, we have to come together here at the mosque to demonstrate what it looks like to be unified. That's why we drill, because we are what? Practicing moving as a unit and in unison.
Yes, sir.
We are what? Practicing unity. We're taught that drill is the exercise of the gods.
Yes, sir.
Right? That means moving as one is a godly and divine thing.
That's right.
No.
Us, you over here, me over there, and everybody walking, however we want to walk, doing what we want to do, doing all these different things, not coordinating our effort, that's not of God.
Right.
Us moving together as one, that's of God, brother. All praise to God. That's the last one. So, the thing that we got to do, of course, we do have to repair our relationship with Allah. Right?
Yes, sir.
We have to repair our relationship with Allah, and that'll help us to get along as brothers. And if I'm right with God, it's going to be easier for me to get right with Ahmed, right? Because I'm already right with Allah. And Allah is the one that what? They really scrutinize.
Yes,
Right?
sir.
So if I can get right with Ahmed, if I can get right with Allah, it's going to help me what? To get right with Brother Ahmed.
That's right.
But here's the thing. Every time we go back on our word, when we say we're going to help the minister, every time we do a different thing other than what the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has instructed, that causes what? Disunity.
Yeah.
Disunity with God and disunity with one another. Because you got one man that say, I want to obey Allah and the message.
Yeah.
You got somebody else that said, man, that gets on my nerve. I don't know about that, right?
Yes, sir.
And what does it cause? It makes us less strong than what we would be if everybody was on what? One accord. Once we agree that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is the man of God in our midst,
No.
then that creates an obligation to obey that man.
Yes, sir.
Once you say that the most honorable Elijah Muhammad was raised by Almighty God Allah, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Then
sir.
that means that you and I have to what?
Obey.
We have to obey. And we have to be in unity in that obedience. We have to move as a unit.
That's
So
right.
as time goes on, all praise be to Allah. So as time goes on, okay, and we demonstrate that unity and that love among one another, then that is going to be the catalyst that helps all of our people to come together. But it starts right here at the mosque. Do you know that the unity of all black people in Baton Rouge is going to start at 2600 Plank Road?
Yes, sir.
That's where it's going to start at. It's not going to start up the street. I don't care how big their church is, they don't have the love, they don't have the message of Almighty God Allah. They got what white folks gave them at their seminary.
That's right.
They got a white image of somebody that they call Jesus, and that will not unify or raise up black people.
That's right.
It's not going to happen. Only what we have here will raise up black people. All right? So whenever we break ranks with what we know is right here at the mosque, all right, then we are slowing down the resurrection of our people and the unity of our people. But those who are processing, or you're going through orientation, go through that thing as quick as you can. Okay? Recite. Do what you have to do. Learn what you have to learn. Study the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad so you can become one with that word as quickly as you can, because we're taught to train them fast, right?
That's right.
Make them brave fighters, willing at any time to give their life for Allah's sake and righteousness. So this is our task. So when we come here, as the minister said, this is a house of correction. What did he say it was a house of?
Correction.
Correction. Because when you're a Negro, everything you do is wrong. What you eat is wrong. How you talk is wrong. How you walk is wrong. You may have your pants hanging off your butt. That's wrong. And sometimes you may get overwhelmed when you come to the mosque. Well, I ain't doing nothing right. You're right. You were taught by an enemy. None of us were doing anything right when we came to the Nation of Islam.
That's right.
Right? Praise be to Allah. If we were, we would have been free a long time ago. Obviously, we weren't making the right decisions. Our health is bad, right? We looking crazy. We looking dusty when we come in. But the word and living this life polishes us up, makes us look better, and ultimately we become better as a result of being up under this word. Now, how many people in here want to be a God? All praise and due to Allah. If you want to be a God, you got to get in God's class.
That's right.
Right? If you want to be a lawyer, don't you have to go to law school?
Yes, sir.
Now, if you want to be a God, you got to go to the school of the God, and that's Muhammad Mosque in the city of Baton. All right? But understand, if you want to be a good football player, even to do sport and play, it's going to hurt. You're going to have to lift weights, right? You're going to have to run. You're going to get fatigued, and that's just to play football. And football is not even of any consequence. It doesn't matter who wins the Super Bowl. Is that going to mean that if the Patriots win the Super Bowl, all of the brothers who are wrongly convicted of crime are going to suddenly get out if Tom Brady wins? Huh? If Drew Brees would have won, maybe they would have emptied out and go.
No.
Would they?
No, sir.
So it's of no consequence. So the governor wrote a letter to the NFL because there was a bad call. A bad call where a man was hit flagrantly and they did not call pass interference, nor did they call personal foul. And all of the white folks in New Orleans saying that's an injustice. The way they robbed us of our victory. Well, hold on, white man. You robbed the black man of his mind. You mean to tell me one call? You robbed me of my mind and my name and my God and my culture. We get bad calls all the time. The murderer of Austin Sterling should be serving life in prison. Where is he at? At his house. Collecting a check. That was a bad call, right?
That's right.
The murderer of Tamir Rice, where is he at? On the police force. He just got fired from another police force that took him in. But where is he at? Collecting a check. That was a bad call, right?
Right.
And the governor, John Bell, I know y'all love the Democrats, but John Bell Edwards did not write Landry, the Attorney General, a letter of protest saying that he should indict the murderer of Alton Sterling. Did he?
No, sir.
But all of the senators, the congressmen, everybody is upset about the Saints and one bad call. We live a life of bad calls and bad judgment up under this white man. And the governor has not written a letter on our behalf yet. Right? Right. I mean, think about it. I mean, these people have written letters and they have filed lawsuits on behalf of the Saints fans of New Orleans. Y'all get me? And now the NFL has answered back saying that they play the game over, it'll cost them $100 million, and they're actually litigating this whole court case. It's a multi-million-dollar court case behind one single play. But how many multi-million court cases do we have when they dump all this cancer right down the street, right down 19, right down Highway 61, where all of these people out in what we call the field have tumors? Every other house has cancer. Right? You go down 61, the place called Allison where black folks live, nothing but cancer. Bad calls, right? Nobody's speaking on your behalf. Oh, but there is one man.
That's right.
His name is Farrakhan. And the Jews want you to denounce the one man that's speaking on your behalf in an international and national basis. That's the Honorable Louis Farrakhan. You got people that love you. I ain't saying Al Sharpton don't love you. I ain't saying he don't love you. But he don't love you like Farrakhan do.
That's right.
He's not willing to give up his millions of dollars that's coming to him and coming to his organization to save you. He'll speak up for you every now and then. He'll lead a protest every now and then, but he's not willing to go to a cross. This man is willing to be nailed to a cross and has been nailed. For 34 years he's been on the cross. For us. You understand me? It's Farrakhan. And the chosen people of God are black people in America. And every time we do not work to reconcile things with one another, we work for the disunity of our people, we are holding up the resurrection of all of our people here in the city of Baton Rouge. If you want to help the people in Baton Rouge, work hard to make Mosque No. 65 as good as it can be. You hear me? Make this, and once we make this great, we'll be able to clean up everything out there. But first, we got to make Muhammad Mosque No. 65 the place that Allah would want it to be, and what we produce out of here will be all the way off the chain, as they say.
That's right.
Because basically, do y'all know that Baton Rouge is running in Atlanta right now?
Yeah.
The first officer was raised up right here. The first officer in the city of Atlanta, Mosque No. 15, was raised right up here in Baton Rouge. The minister that the Honorable Louis Farrakhan really loves his style, Brother Daryl Muhammad, raised up right here. I'm just telling you, Baton Rouge has produced some great people that have done good things all over the nation of Islam. And all we need to do is hold on to the word, appreciate and love one another, right?
Yes, sir.
Appreciate our brothers and our sisters.
Are you listening? Damn.